After a 10-game homestand, the Angels kick off their last road trip of the season. It's a 7-day road trip. Tonight we kick it off with the Texas Rangers for the first of 3. We welcome you inside Globe Life Park and back to Angels Baseball on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas. Now, over the last week or thereabouts, we've seen Mike Trout do a number of spectacular things. And the most notable, of course, the 2 swim moves that he has put on at third and at home.
Yeah, Victor, he does everything so well. You would expect him to do something spectacular as far as being on the bases, and he did that in this last series against Toronto. Take a look at our tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks. He's amongst the leaders as far as runs scored, 113 of them. But what he can do with those wheels, we know he can swing the bat, but he also, look how he's able to avoid a tag. It's the second time he's done that in his career. He did it up in Fenway, and he did it here at the Big A, avoiding a tag by Josh Donaldson at third. And then, of course, he hits a ball in the right field. Think it's going to be an easy double? No. Good play by Jose Bautista, a perfect throw, but then it's to slide the inside part of the base, able to avoid another tag. The best play of all, coming into home on a base hit by Albert Pujols. Looks like he is going to be out by a mile at the plate. Navarro thinks he has the tag there. He puts a glove out there. Trout's able to avoid that. 113th run scored of the season. What a slide by Mike Trout. He does everything unbelievable. Trouty impresses every day.
I tell you what, the one thing that stands out too for the Angels, they picked up a couple of wins before starting this road trip, and hopefully they can start playing some better baseball over the last couple of weeks. Jhoulys Chacín's on the mound for the Angels. Martin Perez going for the Texas Rangers, as we're just about ready for baseball here in the Lone Star State. Sit back, relax. Going to bring you the lineups and the first pitch when we return. This telecast of Angels Baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Hyundai. Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. By Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Brewhouse Bacon Burger today for limited time only at participating restaurants. By your Southern California Toyota dealers. By Mercury Insurance, on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com to get a fast free quote and see how much you can save. And by the Jeep Renegade. Find your inner Renegade and reach your highest potential with an EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon. Angels and the first place Texas Rangers. The Rangers currently 8.5 games better than the Seattle Mariners. Their magic number to clinch the division at 5 as we get you ready for this first pitch. Yesterday, of course, rookie hazing. After the game, guys getting dressed up in all sorts of costumes.
Some fantastic looks. Actually, this might be the best yet as far as what the rookies had to wear, especially trying to get that for G-Man Choi, get that on the plane too.
He had to deflate in order to board the plane. Juan Gratterall as Richard Simmons was lovely.
Yes.
And Alex Meyer is Cat in the Hat, even better. So that's the beauty of Major League Baseball, especially September call-ups. That's the one time they do it, and you start seeing that throughout Major League Baseball. So at least you get a laugh, and it was nice to pick up a W before heading out on this last road trip. 3 here against the Rangers, then it's 4 against the Houston Astros. And a little bit better. They struggled a little bit once again with men in scoring position on the homestand. And the hope is, of course, with the teams in front of you that are looking to make a postseason bid. Rangers trying to clinch a division. Astros and the Astros twice coming up. Oakland, of course, next week. That you could try to make some hay, try to knock some teams off, or at least make it a little bit more difficult for them.
Yeah, you're certainly going to have to try to swing the bats here in this ballpark against that very dangerous lineup for the Rangers.
It's a hot one here, too. The baseball will be flying. Temperature in the upper 90s, touching triple digits here in North Texas today. This is the lineup that Mike Scioscia is running out for game number 150. Yunel Escobar leading things off. He is at third base. Cole Calhoun is back home with his wife. They're expecting their child, so that's why he is not in the lineup today. Trout batting in the 2-hole. He's in center. Howard Pools at DH. C.J. Cron at first. Jeffrey Marte in left field. Andrelton Simmons, the shortstop. Gregorio Petit at second. Carlos Perez behind the plate. And Shane Robinson gets a start in right field in place of Cole. He will bat ninth as they take on the 25-year-old left-hander, native of Guanare, Venezuela. His name is Martin Perez.
And Perez, fastball is 90-95, slider, curveball, changeup, very good changeup. 10-10 with the ERA just over 4.20. My go-tos to be successful against Perez is don't chase the low pitch, especially that changeup, and big field approach. Use that middle of the field and drive the ball to right center field too. That baseball is flying. I was watching in batting practice today. Right field, got a good chance if you hit it well, it's getting out of the ballpark.
Check out the defense for the Texas Rangers. Carlos Gomez in lefty and Desmond in center. Nomar Mazara in right. The infield with Adrian Beltre, Elvis Andrus, Rougned Odor, and Mitch Moreland from third to first. Jonathan Lucroy behind the plate.
And Andrus having a great offensive season, but also very good defensive season. .977 fielding percentage, which would be a career high if he stays at this pace. He has turned 103 double plays, 14 errors at shortstop for Andrus this season.
Rangers currently with an 8-8 record in the month of September. They're coming off a series against the Oakland A's in which they dropped 2 of 3. And had it not been for a 9th inning comeback, they would have been swept by the red-hot Oakland Athletics. Talk about playing spoiler. We'll see what the Angels could do in this 3-game set against Texas. It's been an even matchup all season long. 8-8 record against Texas this season. Martin Perez making his 4th start against the Halos, facing Yunel Escobar. First one tonight is lined towards short, and glove by a diving Elvis Andrus. Gets up, throws out Escobar, and there is out number 1. What a play, because that ball appeared to be by him.
Yeah, he hit that ball extremely well, aggressive on the first pitch. And make sure you don't tell Escobar that I said Andrus was our highlight on the defense, and he certainly made that play right away. See, that baseball is by him. Quickly gets up and fires across the diamond to get Escobar at first.
Yunel notorious early swinging in the count, and jumped all over that fastball from Perez. Terrific play by Elvis. 1 out, nobody on for Trout. Mike hitting .318, 27 home runs, 90 runs batted in. And he'll take ball 1. Trout yesterday 1 for 3, had a double, couple of walks, 2 runs scored. He'll lift this one foul and out of play.
And one thing with Martin Perez, he gets a lot of ground balls. 53.7%. It's the highest ground ball percentage, 7th most as far as ground ball percentage in the majors this season. He keeps the ball down. He has a very good change, especially going down and away.
1-1 pitch. Trout fouls it back, 1-2. The other thing for Perez, he could be very erratic. 96 strikeouts, 72 walks in 182 innings of work.
And he's a pitch to contact guy, lower part of the strike. It's always difficult to strike out batters when you're consistently throwing that fastball or change up or break a ball at the knees.
This was hit toward third. Trout got jammed on it. 2 down.
And my Hyundai key for the Angels to be successful against the Texas Rangers, setting the world on fire. My little Kenny Chesney in pink, going to have to be swinging the bats, going to have to score some runs, and then add on. This team is very good, the Rangers, as far as coming back in games and also scoring runs. It'll be very important for the offense to put it together here tonight.
Yeah, 45 comeback wins for Texas. That leads Major League Baseball. 2 quick outs via the ground ball, and here's Albert. He'll swing first pitch and shoot it foul. Pujols at 266, 30 home runs, and 112 RBIs.
It's a pretty good indication how far the baseball is going to carry. That ball would have been a home run. It stayed fair. Baseball is flying here today.
Albert had 3 multi-hit games against Toronto during that 4-game series. Halos lit up Perez in his last start against the Angels at the Big A. 7 runs and 10 hits and 6 innings of work, and this is lined to center field. Now it'll get down for a base hit. A 2-out single for Albert. Puts a man on for C.J. Cron.
Pujols now 5 of 14 versus Perez. Lines out in the middle part of the field.
Cron hitting .280. 19 doubles, a couple of triples, 16 home runs. He's driven home 64. Pulled the string on him. No balls at a strike. CJ yesterday 1 for 3, had a sac fly. Halos shutting out Toronto in the final game of the series, 4-0, splitting that 4-game set. This is lined towards short. One hopper. That ball was smoked as well. Little flip over to Odor. The Angels half of the first is in the books. We'll head to the bottom of the first inning. Jhoulys Chacin on the mound for the Angels. We're scoreless. Bannister's lineup on this warm night here in Arlington, Texas. Game number 151 for Texas. They're currently 88-62. 8.5 games better than the Seattle Mariners. Carlos Gomez will lead things off at lefty and Desmond in center. Carlos Beltran at DH. Adrian Beltre at third base. Rougned Odor at second. Jonathan Lucroy is the catcher. Mitch Moreland at first. Nomar Mazara in right. And it's Elvis Andrus batting ninth, playing shortstop. Taking on Jhoulys Chacin, making his 27th appearance, 15th start of the season. 5-8, a 5.43 ERA, and the spot start the last time out for Tyler Skaggs was very, very good.
Yeah, Chacin threw the ball very, very well. My go-tos for to Sheen to be successful is to trust that movement, that two-seam fastball, and stay ahead throughout the whole game as far as stay ahead of the counts. When he gets behind in the count, that's when he runs into problems.
One ball, one strike on Carlos Gomez.
See that good little slider for Sheen, throwing that slide piece right on the outside corner. Very important against Gomez.
2-1 count. Gomez hitting .217, 11 home runs, 45 runs batted in. He's reached safely in the last 8 games. Hit the ball better in the last 18 games. Hit over 300. I'll cue this one foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Gomez hit 154 this season versus breaking balls. Very quick. We've seen that at home on the fastball. Very quick, even upstairs with a fastball.
That's Daniel Wright. First pitch of the game. 2-2. Gomez goes down swinging, 1 away.
That was a mistake, break a ball, and still gets a swing and miss.
Check out the Angels on the defensive side of things. Jeffrey Marte in left, Mike Trout at center, Shane Robinson at right, Yunel Escobar and Andrelton Simmons on the left side of the infield, Gregorio Petit and C.J. Cron on the right, Carlos Perez behind the plate.
And with Cole Calhoun at home with his wife waiting for the birth of their first child, Shane Robinson getting the start out in right field. 4th time he's gotten to start out in that position. He has 2 outfield assists and 1 error so far this season for Shane Robinson, who's played some left, center, and tonight in the 3 other games in right field.
Ian Desmond, the center fielder, with a 1-0 count. It's .285 this year. 29 doubles, 22 home runs as he lines this one foul. He was a count at a ball and a strike. Free agent to be. Signing a 1-year deal in the offseason.
What does he jump on high pitches too? He was all over that fastball upstairs. .387 batting average versus high pitches this season.
Time called.
It's 3rd best in the majors as far as hitting high pitches.
Marte a very deep left field. And this is line to right. Robinson plays shallow, cuts it off, and holds Desmond to a 1-out single.
And that was a high pitch, upper part of the strike zone. He stays back on well. He hits the ball very well the other way. Foot down and looking to line the baseball that way. It's above the belt. Anything high in the strike zone, he's hit well, and he's really hit the ball exceptionally well the other way. That's his 58th opposite field hit this season for Desmond.
So he's at first, and it's Carlos Beltran coming to the plate. The veteran switch hitter, DH, hitting .300, 27 home runs, 88 RBIs this year. All-star season for him. It started with the Yankees. .43rd game since coming over to trade. It's at .293 for Texas. One to one. Kerwin Danley tonight calling the balls and strikes. Pat Hoberg at first. Joe West, the crew chief, at second. Greg Gibson at third, the umpiring crew for this 3-game set.
It's a pretty good spot there. Lower part of the strike zone does not get called. Middle part of the plate at the knees.
I think I'd like a better understanding of what the strike zone is nowadays. And I know it can fluctuate, whether it's Fox Tracks or StatCast, any number of K zones that are out there. Just what's the definition of a strike? I mean, all too often, especially this year, that bottom third hasn't been called a whole lot.
We heard it was going to be called less next year. The high strike called more.
2-2. Dribbler foul. Which is fine. I mean, call it, but explain to everybody so that they can calibrate the machines the right way. So we're all looking at the same thing and at least have a better judgment. Otherwise, folks at home Austin broadcast booth. You sit there and say, well, Curran Downley's missing a bunch of pitches because they're in the zone. Maybe it's not a strike, according to the umpires.
Personally, I think they should go back to this. You get away from the whole Quest Tech and all that as far as judging a home plate umpire. He creates his own zone. They're going to be pretty consistent anyhow. The human element for the home plate umpire.
This one's fouled off. Count remains at 2-2. The unfortunate part of that is that we live in a video game society, and everything it's about the bells and whistles and what's cute on TV and what looks good, what doesn't. That's just part of it. That's what the kids are growing up with, playing video games, especially playing sports games. You know, the targets and the zones, whether it's hitting or pitching wise.
We're just trying to stay alive in that at bat. It's a good slow curveball. He's just trying to foul that off. He has to smile on that one.
The telephone booth swing.
Very good curveball. The speed of the pitch. He's just trying to foul that one off. That's perfect. Not when you're throwing that pitch, it's not perfect.
Broken bat, bouncer to Crone, spins around, fires to Simmons. Easy double play, one in the books here in Texas, and we're scoreless. Want to remind you to get your red on in 2017 to receive special benefits and great ticket prices by becoming an Angel season seat holder. Just call 888-796-HALO or go to angels.com for details. Marte, Simmons, and Petit for the Halos here in the second. Martin Perez with a couple of ground ball outs, gave up a single to Pujols, but nothing more. Jeffrey starting left fielder tonight. .253 average with 12 home runs and 38 RBIs. A couple of hard hit balls in the first off of Perez. Seems like everybody's up there swinging first pitch.
You look at the numbers against Martin. 0-0 counts when it's put in play. .356 with 21 RBI on the first pitch put in play.
0-2. This one's popped up. Moreland coming down the line. Calls for it and makes the catch at foul territory. Marte Did run that on the line. That was pretty close.
Yeah, real close to drifting back, especially when it gets up high enough above the stadium here. The chance to drift towards in play. So you're more than likely going to tell him, hey, you got to make sure, just in case that baseball comes back into play, you have to, like you're saying, about a foot away from being in play.
Simmons chopping this one towards second. 2 down.
Martin 10-10 on the season, but 8-2 here at home with an ERA 2.65. Martin here in this ballpark.
Exact opposite of what he's done on the road. Been awful on the road. 2-8 with an ERA near 6.
See those numbers, the difference. You would think, especially in this ballpark, the ERA, that's an outstanding ERA for this yard.
And the starts have been split down the middle. 15 here, 15 out on the road. He has less walks, more strikeouts at home than he does away from here.
And we showed those numbers as far as ground ball percentages for Martin Perez. And that's why the ERA is solid here in this ballpark. In the air, trouble.
Halo's down in order. We'll head to the second with no score. Beltre, Odor, and Lucroy coming up to face Jolie Chacin. Faced a minimum of 3 in the first inning, courtesy of a double play ball. Now he'll get 4, 5, and 6. That's that last start that he had against Seattle. Gave up a run on 3 hits, 6 innings of work, struck out 5, had no walks. Only his second appearance as an Angel, in which he did not issue a base on balls. The other one was his very first outing back on May 14th, also against Seattle. No balls, 2 strikes on Adrian Beltre, hitting .295 with 30 home runs and 98 RBIs. Another incredible season against the Angels. Tried to get him to chase a breaking ball. It's 1-2. Adrian's hit .333 against the Halos this year with 5 home runs. Total of 40 career home runs against the Angels.
And 147 RBI against the Angels for his career.
High fastball fouled back. Count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. 2-2.
It's a good movement in that two-seam fastball, trying to get Beltre to swing over top of it.
Bouncer foul. As good as that outing was for Chacin the last time out, it ended up going as a no decision for him. Just the 4th time. He's gone 6 innings or more wearing the Angels uniform. Foul back.
Good life in that fastball in off the plate on the hands. Beltre not letting him get those arms extended.
Full count. The Texas team that is 4th in average, 5th in home runs, 3rd in runs scored, 3rd in slugging, and 6th in on-base percentage. Jeff Bannister, the 2015 American League Manager of the Year. Had some issues on the pitching side, but offensively got the job done as Beltre fouls this one back.
And the customary drops to the knee to try to drive a baseball far. The high fastball, just trying to go the other way. Looks like on that swing, don't you think, Victor? Just trying to get a base hit the other way.
Carlos almost caught that behind his back, which would have been a strikeout. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, if he catches the foul tip, yes.
Yeah. Got ahead at 0-2, ends up walking Beltre, so the leadoff man's on board.
Always got to be careful on high fastballs, high pitches against Odor. Having an unbelievable season, 31 home runs, 85 RBI, 31 doubles, and 4 triples.
We'll look at the strike. .279 batting average with those 31 home runs. Raises batting average 10 points over the last 17 games. In that stretch, he's had 7 home runs and 20 runs batted in. Infielders on the shift. Odor chasing the breaking ball. 0-2. Bouncer foul. Still at 0-2. Texas took 2 of 3 against the Angels last homestand to kick off that 10-game homestand. Angels finished that stretch 3-7. This one's popped up. Perez in foul territory is there. One down. Beltre remains at first.
Good slow curveball by Chacin.
One out, one on. And there's Jonathan Lucroy. Lucroy playing in his 38th game now since coming over from the Milwaukee Brewers. Those are his combined numbers with Texas. He's hit .289 with 10 home runs and 28 runs batted in. Give him Mike Napoli's old number, right? 25 here?
Yes. So it's mandatory to have the beard then, I think.
Yeah. And he'll sky one out to deep left field. Marte has to go back on it. Just picked it up. Makes the catch. Beltre's tagging and will stop as the throw comes in. So throw by Simmons and safe at first base.
That's the one thing about Simmons. He will always throw behind the runner. And that was a close play. Marte gets it in quickly, and the quick throw by Simmons. Crone unable to catch that. Otherwise, there's a good shot to get him at first base.
So 2 outs off the bat. I'm not sure that Jeffrey Marte saw that ball go all the way up. He picked it up somehow. Kind of that odd time, that dusk.
Especially with some clouds drifting around.
2 outs. Beltre still at first. There's Mitch Moreland, the first baseman. This is hit to Crone. That'll do it. Leadoff walk is stranded at first. 2 in the books. We're scoreless.
Associated with the victory yesterday passed the late great Hall of Famer Earl Weaver on the all-time win list for one team. Associated 1,481 as far as most wins for managers in Major League history for one team. Walter Alston at the top with 2,040. Time of the sorta, 1,599.
They start the third scoreless. Perez versus Perez to start this third inning. Martin against Carlos. 211 average for Carlos. 5 home runs, 28 RBIs. Take outside. Evens a count at a ball and a strike. Martin Perez with a 1-2-3 second. Pop up and 2 groundouts. It's on the corner.
He likes to back up that 2-seam fastball, little sinker away with a changeup away, but also will cut a fastball in.
Carlos shooting one out to center. 1 down. Brings up Shane Robinson.
Batting ninth, the right fielder, number 17, Shane Robinson.
Shane, a 180 average, getting to start right field for Cole Calhoun with his wife Jennifer, expecting to birth their first child. 1 ball, 1 strike. Caught the outside corner.
I mentioned earlier, 72 walks, 96 strikeouts this season for Martin Perez.
Robinson lifts one out to right field. Mazara plays shallow, goes back. 2 down. Top of the order now, Yunel Escobar.
Mentioned all those walks so far this year, but so far tonight, very effective. 25 pitches, 20 strikes for Perez. I was talking to Paul Sorrento, Dave Hansen, the approach against him, especially with all the ground ball action. So you've got to be aggressive against him, but also you got to force that fastball and changeup to the middle of the plate.
Escobar jumped on the first pitch of the game. Hit a rocket toward Elvis Andrus. Made a nice play on it. Takes inside. Over the mound, off the glove. Odor to the backhand. A little bit of a bobble, still gets Escobar. And the Angels are down in orders. We head to the bottom of the 3rd, still scoreless. Positive Coaching Alliance and its mission to develop better athletes, better people by working to provide all youth and high school athletes a positive character-building sports experience. Visit foxsportsreports.com to learn more. No scores. We start at the bottom of the 3rd. Jalees Chacin. So far, so good through 2. Got extended a 10-pitch plate appearance in the 2nd. With Adrian Beltre working the leadoff walk, but nothing more. She retired the next 3 in a row, including a 1-pitch out with Mitch Moreland, who had a little soft liner to Crone. So it's Mazar, Andrus, and Gomez, 8, 9, and 1 for Texas. Rookie right fielder hitting .270, 18 home runs and 59 runs batted in.
Chacin, real good feel for his curveball early on, along with his slider. It's a pretty good spot again with that breaking ball.
Count even up at 1-1.
Some pretty quick hands. Fastball up and in. Zara pulled that one foul.
A 12-game hitting streak against the Angels snapped in his last go-around last weekend as that one missed in. Chacin wanted that one.
That was again another lower part of the strike zone pitch.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball, right side with the shift on Petit. Field this one, throw him out. 1 away. Brings up Elvis Andrus. Texas very good here at home. Best record in the American League at home with a 48-24 mark. Second best in Major League Baseball. Cubs 52 wins at Wrigley Field this year. 52-23 for the Cubbies. The other thing that Jeff Bannister's team has done very well is played well within the division. 43-27 against the West.
That's why it's really important when you think about it, that home field advantage in the postseason. Well, when you look at it in the American League alone, with Texas and Cleveland battling out for that top record in the American League. Texas 24 games over 500 at home. Cleveland 23 games over 500 at home.
Rangers currently have the advantage as far as best record in the American League. 1 game in the loss column. Andrews chopping this one toward the right side. Cron's got it. It's a foot race with Chacin and Andrews, and safe at first. And diving head first. Infield base hit.
So I play with the shift on and how far away Cron is from the base, and the underhand throw to try to lead. Chacin looked like the hand just there beats him to the base. But I think that's one of those ones over the top. They're a little bit more on it than forced Chacin to be able to get there a little bit quicker on a more firm throw was their best shot.
You're halfway between first and second. Trying to do the old underhand toss. Forget it.
Yeah, I know you're trying to lead your pitcher, but if you throw a little harder, he's going to have to go there quicker and reach out, have a better chance, especially the way Andrews runs down the line.
Here's Gomez. Base hit by Elvis, a second hit allowed by Chacin. He and Desmond had the other. Carlos Gomez, a strikeout victim in the first. The only strikeout Chacin has picked up. Issued 1 walk. That was to Beltre, and this is bounce foul.
Always got to keep an eye on Andrews at first base. 22 stolen bases.
Texas 4th in the American League in that category with 88. One and 2. Gomez starting the season with Houston. Was released and then picked up by Texas. Batting in the leadoff spot. 1-2. Lifted out towards shallow right center. Trout calling for it. 2 down. Elvis back to first base. Ball not hit very deep and also drifting toward right. So Trout had a long way to go. So Desmond will bat with 2 outs. 46 pitches for Jolice. 31 have been strikes. And Desmond 1 for 1. Base hit to right field in his first at bat.
Talked about the area of the plate and how well Desmond hits the baseball. The hot zone, that upper part of the strike zone, middle part of the plate. It's a tough time down and away, down and in also, but up, middle, up and away. Very good numbers for Desmond. That's why he's got 58 extra base hits this year. Or opposite field hits, I should say.
upstairs. 2-1 count. Both starters so far. Nice job through almost 3 innings. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Handles have managed 1 hit against Martin Perez. Texas with 2 so far.
Good slider and a fastball count from Chacin.
Two to Desmond. Ground ball toward the middle. Simmons goes into a diving stop, flips it to second, and they don't get Elvis Andrus. It goes in, standing up. That'll goes an infield base hit for Desmond, his 2nd hit of the night.
Good range shown once again by Simmons. Dives into the outfield grass. That's all you have is the force out. No way you're going to be able to throw across the diamond with Desmond running down the line. Very close play at second. Not a lot on that. We'll flip it. Andrus going up standing. Made it a lot closer play. Goes in the slide. He probably beats that easily.
It's a great job by Gregorio Petit, too, to get to the base and really become a first baseman, stretching out with his left leg, doing all he could.
Try to get that baseball in the glove a little sooner.
So 2 on, 2 outs. There's Carlos Beltran to ground it into a double play his first time up. Pickoff attempt to throw a 1-hop Simmons. Maybe hit Andrus. Looked like it hit Simmons maybe in the face as well.
Quick throw there. Yeah, got both of them. Ideally, you want to try to throw right at the base. Off the glove, off the face, and the arm. See right there, off around the mouth area of Simmons.
Yeah, got the right elbow of Elvis Andrus. Kevin Harmon, their trainer, out.
See that low throw from Chacin. Right on the elbow area, tricep area, and then off of Simmons.
Andrus over the last week and a half has been dinged up a little bit.
Yes, he has. A couple times against the Rangers. Remember at home, that little bit of a collision on a rundown with Carlos Gomez. And him hit it with his hand. See off the arm, body, and then right off the cheek, nose area of Simmons.
Here's the 1-0. Beltran shoots one out to center field. It's going to hang up, though. Trout's there, puts it away. And Texas gets a couple of men on with 2 outs, but leave them stranded. We'll head to the 4th, still scoreless. The Angels, he'll be followed by Albert Pujols and C.J. Cron. Halos have had one base runner. That was a single by Albert with 2 outs in the first. Nothing more. As Martin Perez has retired 7th straight. Trout got jammed in his first inning at bat and grounded out to Beltre. On the outside corner, allegedly. First strike. Told you the splits for Martin Perez, struggles he's had up and down season. Home and road. With 3 quality starts over his last 3 outings. Trout fouls it off. Gone 2-0 with a 1.96 ERA over those last 3 starts. And I guess if you're going to get hot, this would be a good time to do it. With a couple of weeks left in the season before you head into the postseason.
Especially for a club that's looking for some other consistency as far as the rotation outside of Hamill and Darvish.
Left side, tried to backhand it. Odor has it go up his arm. We'll see how they rule that. They get plenty of time to get in front of it. Decided to go to the backhand.
Not too often you see the shift being put on against Trout, and Odor on the backhand. He could plenty of time to get in front. He's got a strong throwing arm. Could be his 21st error of the season. The shift worked, but Odor unable to make the play.
They've got him on the foot as well. And that is an error on Odor. 87th error committed by Texas this year. Albert looks at a strike. He was a count on the ball and strike. Interesting to see those splits. You see the ground outs, the double play balls that Perez has thrown, but just showed you the splits for Albert batting 3rd versus batting 4th. I think it could be so misleading at times. The guy, especially for Albert, who's been in those spots pretty much his entire career, as he rips one out to straightaway center field. It'll stay in the ballpark as Desmond is there. Makes the catch for the first out.
And he just missed hitting that one a long way out of the ballpark. Pitch ended up being middle. Desmond able to run that one down just in front of the wall. Right down the heart of the plate, just towards the end of the bat. That's the only reason why that stayed in the yard.
Pulled off just a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit at the very end. It still hit well, but towards the end of the bat, just missed it.
Trout still at first, and here's C.J. Cron.
Not real easy to steal against Perez either. He's given up 8 stolen base in 10 attempts. Lucroy has thrown out 38%. Would be base stealers this season. Great numbers. Grown in the last 11 games of Texas, 375. With 12 RBI in that span.
Good chunk of that damage done last year. He had an incredible season against Texas last year. I'll check in on Trout. No balls, 2 strikes.
And Cron had 360 against them last year.
He'll go down swinging on 3 pitches. 2 outs. Nothing but off-speed stuff against Cron. Hey, get your run on. Join us for a pregame Oktoberfest celebration in the Gate 1 Music Garden when the Angels take on the Astros on Friday, September 30th, and Saturday, October the 1st. Enjoy beer from local breweries, live music, and more. Visit angels.com/promotions for more info and to get your tickets. So 2 outs. Trout still at first, and here is Jeffrey Marte.
And Marte, again, will be looking fastball against Perez. The changeup's been effective, but when he's made a mistake with a fastball, Marte does have a big-time home run against him.
Two balls, no strikes. Jeffrey popped out his first time up.
Yeah, he's trying to make sure he doesn't miss with that fastball off the plate in. He pitches inside very effectively, but his bread and butter, a little two-seamer down and away, and he backs it up with a very good changeup going down and away. There's that two-seamer on the outside corner.
Well, Kerwin's called that pitch pretty much all night long on right-handed batters. Outside corner. And he's done it for both sides. Three balls, one strike. Trout reaching on the error by Odor. Pujols and Cron have been put out since. A fly ball and a strikeout.
You would think this is one of those moments where Marte should get a fastball. Although pitchers do remember when somebody hits a home run against you, as far as it was, too. Did go with a fastball. Back to July 20th at the Big A. Got a fastball, and this ball was crushed by Marte against Perez. But he challenged him there in a 3-1 pitch, went fastball again.
Must have been the throwback. Trout get a head start. 3-2 count with 2 outs. Here's the payoff. Breaking ball got him looking. Marte is looking fastball. Perez picks up his second strikeout as we head to the bottom of the fourth, still with no score. Sports West is brought to you by Subaru, making the world a better place. That's why we donate to causes we care about. By El Pollo Loco, new chicken tenders. Try them today at El Pollo Loco. And by the 3-row 2016 Mazda CX-9. Scoreless as we start the bottom of the fourth here in Arlington, the first of a 3-game set. Kicking off the last road trip of the season. Beltre, Odor, and Lucroy for Texas here in the fourth inning. The only walk that Chacin has allowed today was in the second to Beltre. Total of 10 pitches. That was a plate appearance that started 0-2 as this one's flipped out to right field. Robinson will play that on a hop, and Adrian's on board with a leadoff single.
Swinging on that first pitch, puts it in play towards the end of the bat, flares it in front of Robinson and right.
Here's Odor, second baseman, popped out in foul territory in the second. Three infielders on the right side with Odor, and he'll shoot one down the left field line, slicing foul and out of play.
Up and away. High pitches, very, very consistent this year for Odor. .333 batting average on high pitches. And he will swing even at pitches above the strike zone.
Sky to right field. Robinson puts it away for the first out. Seen so far tonight, very much under control. 78 pitches in his last outing at start. This is Tyler Skaggs' spot in the rotation.
Tyler Skaggs scheduled to play some catch tomorrow.
Not much time left.
He's thinking about he might have a shot pitching in the game again by the end of the season, potentially. Depends on what the Angels want to do with him. I think Tyler either will throw one in towards the end of the year or see him out there in the Arizona Instructional League along with Garrett Richards.
One. Lucroy for 1 has hit a fly ball to left.
Clearly trying to stay away against Lucroy, knowing he's very good on inside pitches.
And both guys have done a nice job against right-handers, really exploiting that the strike zone that Danley has set forth. Take advantage of it.
And if you have an umpire going to call that outside pitch, sometimes even about a half a baseball off the outside corner, you have to stay there.
Now in mislocation. Full count.
Like he wanted to throw his changeup inside and missed away.
Bell trade back, leadoff single for Adrian.
Seeing if he may be going on a 3-2 count with 1 out to avoid a potential ground ball double play with movement.
Back up the middle, off the leg of Chacin, ricochets to Crone. They'll get the out at first, and Chacin is in a lot of pain sitting on the mound. And Gooby, you've seen that before,
yes.
and you've felt that before.
Yes, and it's almost exact same area. Remember that very, very well. The old Metrodome in Minneapolis.
That was squared up and hit his leg flush.
Yeah, that's that left leg, your landing leg, very difficult to move because that's the leg you plant with when you follow through in your delivery. that sound. There's not a lot you can do as a pitcher. When you land, it is right at you quickly.
I wonder if he moved that leg just enough so where it doesn't square the shin.
I mean, if this is exactly what happened when it hit my leg and went right over to Jose Offerman, was playing first base for us. Directly shot right over towards him.
And it broke your leg, right?
Broke my leg, yes. Looks like he's able to move around all right, which is a good sign. I remember taking this when I stood up right away. I knew it was broken. I could feel the bone moving.
Appreciate the visual.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. That's what the trainer said. How you feel? I said, I think it's broken.
I think it's broken.
Yeah.
Getting some warm-up pitches here.
And you always worry about at some point that becoming stiff as the game progresses. That got him pretty square.
Advantage that it's in the mid-90s here, so it won't stiffen as quickly as you would think in a in an April game, say in the north. They're clearly limping, and he's throwing the ball so well.
Yes.
I can imagine he doesn't want to come out of this game.
No.
We'll see how it impacts him now, because the command's been pretty good for him tonight. There's 2 outs. Beltre at second, and Mitch Moreland's coming up.
Again, that's your landing leg. So you put a lot of torque on that and a lot of your body weight on that leg as you land and throw.
We've talked about it on this last homestand. The innings that bullpen has logged this year. A lot of guys, a lot of use.
A little bit of movement down in the bullpen also.
Could be a just-in-case situation. Here's Moreland. First plate appearance. That's a good breaking ball.
It looked like he landed pretty good on it. The follow through, the landing leg is the leg. That was hit with the line drive. No real grimace on the face either, which is good to see.
That's exactly what I was looking for. No balls, 2 strikes.
A lot of times when you land, you're thinking, even anticipating potentially being sore as you land.
Second straight inning. Texas has had a man in scoring position. Petit out in shallow right with the shift on. 0-2. Little dribbler, and that is foul. Staying off speed on Moreland. Breaking ball, got him looking on 3 breaking balls. Moreland doesn't like the call. We will head to the 5th, still scoreless.
top of the 5th inning. And then last inning, Chacin threw a backdoor slider. When Danley called it a strike, Mitch Moreland didn't like that call. Looked like a little bit off the outside part of the plate, framed very well by Carlos Perez to get the call, and then Moreland thrown out of the game for saying some magic words. The batters to try to get in between, but you cannot argue balls and strikes. It's an automatic ejection. He gave him a chance to talk and then kept it going. At that point, when Danley had no choice but to throw him out.
Top of the 5th inning with no score. Simmons, Petit, and Perez here trying to figure out the left-hander Martin Perez. Jurickson Profar, by the way, takes over at first base for Mitch Moreland. Andrelton is 0 for 1. He grounded out his first time up. Chopping this one to Beltre. One away.
I remember that series at home. Beltre was incredibly active at third base. Made some very good plays as normal.
Second baseman, Oakland.
One out, nobody on, and here's Gregorio Petit. Ground out to short in the 2nd inning. Takes a strike.
It's 7 ground ball outs for Perez in the game so far. Big reason why his ERA is where it is in this ballpark, because if you give up a lot of fly balls, you're going to give up a lot of runs.
Jammed and fouled off. Gregorio getting to start at second tonight, hitting .258 coming into play. 2 home runs and 15 RBIs. Check swing bouncer down the line. Nice play by Profar. Shortstop by trade. Gloves it, retires Petit, 2 down.
And that's a shortstop playing the first base position with that range he has. It's certainly worthy of a Carlos Cam replay, showing the range, playing off the base, but the range he has, able to get to the backhand, take it himself at first base. Solid play by Profar, who's played some outfield also this season for the Rangers. Quickly gets up, steps on the base, solid play. Just into the game for Mitch Moreland, who was thrown out of the game for arguing a slider that might have been a little bit off the outside corner.
Profar, very talented player. Had to deal with some unfortunate injuries in the last couple of years. Bases are clear for Carlos. He'll take a strike. Martin Perez, by the way, has been a strike throwing machine. 49 pitches, 39 strikes. This doesn't look like a guy who came into play today having walked 72 and struck out 96. Getting some quick outs as well. One ball, 2 strikes. Carlos shoots one out to center field. Desmond has to move back on it. And the Angels are down in order here in the 5th. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Jhoulys Chacin coming back down, it appears. Still scoreless. In 3 here against Texas, 4 against the Astros beginning on Thursday night at Minute Maid, and it's back home for the last week of the regular season. 6 games remaining at home, 3 against the A's and then 3 more against Houston. We start the bottom of the 5th, still scoreless. 8, 9, and 1 coming up for Texas. Chacin with 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 4 hits allowed. Halos tonight against Martin Perez have managed 1 hit, and that was a single by Pujols back in the 1st. Nazar grounded out his first time up, and he went out to deep left center field. Marte racing back. He's on the track at the wall, and that is gone. A home run for Nomar Mazara, and Texas has itself a 1-0 lead here in the 5th.
It's a pretty impressive power to go the other way like that for Mazara. The pitch out over the plate, went with the pitch. Fastball instead of sinking, had lateral movement. And just over the wall for a home run the other way. 19th of the season for Mazara.
#201st home run hit by Texas this year. As Elvis Andrus takes inside.
And you wonder this inning for Chacin, if indeed that front leg becomes stiffer now than when you sat down. He's been upstairs on all 3 of the pitches starting this inning, including that changeup there.
By the way, the home run by Mazara, the 4th he's hit against the Angels.
And to see not as comfortable throwing the baseball, he's moving forward. That tells me there is a little bit of discomfort in the follow through. Now there's some action down in the bullpen for the Angels. Mike Bourne,
first man up. Three balls, 1 strike. Elvis with a base hit in the 3rd. How's it back? Full count. Infield knock for Andrus in that 3rd inning. That was that bouncer to Crone. He beat Chacin to the bag. He'll pull this one down the line, foul.
Yeah, quite a few pitches elevated in this inning to start with for Chacin. Socha looking on.
Lifted out toward right. So slicing toward the seats and out of play. Leadoff home run for Nomar Mazara to start this 5th inning. A 1-0 Texas lead. Carlos Gomez, the leadoff man on deck. A little flare out to right field, but Robinson's there. 1 out. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP.
Very impressive power that other way on that swing, though, when you think about it, going that 390 sign the opposite way for the youngster.
Check swing, looked like he went around, and he did. Gomez tonight 0 for 2, a strikeout in the 1st, a fly ball to right in the 3rd inning. One and one. Breaking ball is in there.
Got to try another breakable, I would think, against Gomez.
Upstairs with a fastball. Full count.
Still believe, even though the fastball just a little bit above the strike zone, he almost went after it. He still hits that very well. You just got to think in terms of breakable.
He had Desmond on deck. 3-2. Fouled off again. 2 strikeouts and a walk. 5 hits allowed by Jolice. 82 pitches now. Gomez will cue this one off the end of the bat. It'll flare into center for a base hit.
Managed to get a base hit on that breaking ball. Middle of the plate was down, but middle of the plate just flared it into the outfield.
So a man on for Desmond. A couple of singles tonight. Gomez will run. 16 stolen bases. Has been caught 4 times. Morin ready to go in the bullpen. Still loosening. 91 degrees here in the 5th inning at 8:30. I think it would take you like 3 pitches to get loose tonight.
Yes.
Desmond skies one out to center. Trout is there. 2 down. Trout thought perhaps it was the 3rd out. Then he was trying to deke Gomez. Just down number 2.
Trout got behind that baseball well. Maybe he was just trying to get Gomez to think about trying to advance. Good throw in there from Trout.
Carlos Beltran 0 for 2. Morin's throwing a complete game down the bullpen.
Yeah, you only need a few pitches in this ball, especially down there in the bullpen.
Absolutely.
All that cement around you, it is extremely warm.
Especially now with 2 outs here in the 5th. One ball, 1 strike. Little pop of foul. 1-2.
And that fastball inside.
He's had a good feel for both. The fastball and the off-speed stuff. Really, I know you pointed out that the follow-through that he had after the Mazar home run, but hasn't shown any signs of
since that point, it looks like it loosened back up for him again.
Down low.
And when you sit on the bench, you feel a little bit more and stiffens up, but then as you get back out on the mound, after a couple throws, you feel back to normal. Follow through is very good. Land's put a lot of that weight on the front leg. Looks pretty comfortable now.
2-2. Full count. Gomez. Here, a nice little head start. Cron will let Chacin know he's going to play behind him. especially with a left-handed batter at the plate. Nomar Mazar with a leadoff home run to start the 5th. It's 1-0 Texas. Chacin trying to get the Angels back in the dugout, just down by a run. Gomez on the move. Beltran strikes out, swinging third punch out of the ninth for Chacin, and we will head to the 6th with the Angels now trailing at 1-0.
Coverage of baseball. Boston continues to play well. Reason why? Mookie Betts with a big game again tonight. 2-run home run in the 3rd. 31 home runs on the season. 113 runs scored. Take a look now for game break in Baltimore with 1 on. 0-0 game. Not anymore. Mookie Betts. 31st home run, 2-run home run. David Ortiz homered in the game. He's got 35. And Rick Porcello looking for his 21st victory of the season. It's going 8 innings in that game for Boston.
9-1-2 for the Halos. Down 1-0 as Robinson swings to the first one. It bounces to Delvis Andrews. 1 out. Shane 0 for 2, getting the start tonight in right field for Cole Calhoun.
Just 53 pitches thrown so far in this game for Perez.
Third baseman Escobar.
42 strikes. It's 11 out of the strike zone. It was 53 pitches.
Yunel Escobar 0 for 2. Twice is grounded out. No balls in a strike. Just 1 hit allowed by Martin Perez. He has 2 strikeouts, no walks.
9 ground ball outs so far.
Pitching tonight like he has pretty much all season here at home. 8-2. ERA just over 2. This is line to right field, a base hit. Might skip past Mazara, and it will. It'll go to the wall. Escobar's on his way to second base. Now he's going to try to go to third, and perhaps ill-advised.
Yeah, Escobar's throwing up his arms as if Mazara threw his arms up to say it was a dead ball. Mike Scioscia's going to try to get an explanation right now. See this baseball underneath the padding, it stays there.
He never threw the hands up.
No.
That's a live ball.
Yes.
And you know what? I mean, it's tough to complain if you're Yunel Escobar because you were cruising the whole time to second base and then made the decision to go to third. It's a live ball if you attempt to go after it. It's just kind of like the ball in the ivy at Wrigley Field. That's why they tell you if something like that happens, you immediately throw the hands up.
Throw the hands up, and then you don't And then you don't go down the reach to get the baseball. You just stay and leave it that way.
I'm not sure what they're going to look at unless the ground rule specifically states something.
This could be
to that.
a crew chief review, if anything. I don't think the Angels are going to challenge this. Maybe they are going to.
Again, unless it's a ground rule.
I mean, it's underneath there, but as a player, when you go to reach for that,
correct,
that becomes live baseball.
Right. We're going to take a look at it. Curious as to what they're going to look at, Gooby. Again, ground rules, we talk about all the time. The umpires and the managers talking before a game, explaining the ground rules in the ballpark. Every ballpark is different with its ground rules. Now, there could be one specifically to this ballpark that says if a ball gets stuck underneath there, whether or not a player throws his hands up, it's a dead ball and it's a double. But Nomar Mazara did not make any effort whatsoever to throw his hands up.
I saw Escobar throwing his arm.
Right.
That the case. It was not the case. He never did.
I think he was saying at that point, I thought the same thing, but I think in retrospect, he's thinking he should throw the hands up because the ball was stuck underneath the padding.
Almost every ballpark has that padding like that on the walls where it could go underneath there.
He's waiting for the carom here. It stays there. Doesn't do anything, but goes in there and goes and gets it.
See, Mazara should be putting his hands up and stopping right there anyhow.
Correct.
But he didn't do that. That's why I think it's going to be very difficult to change the call here, other than being out at third.
Right, a double and an out at third, trying to stretch it into a triple.
And they're going back to second base. Catch a break on that one because the baseball was lodged underneath the padding. Jeff Bannister wants an explanation himself.
So call's overturned because the ball was lodged, is what we're being told. That's curious. Like I said, I mean, unless it's a ground rule, I never thought. Now that's why Jeff Bannister, obviously not a. It's clearly not a ground rule because Bannister is pretty heated over it. He's just been tossed. I mean, it works to the Angels' advantage. It's a double for Yunel Escobar with one out now, as opposed to 2 outs and nobody on.
Especially who's coming to the plate now with someone in scoring position in Mike Trout, followed by Albert Pujols.
I'd be pretty upset too if I'm Jeff Bannister, to be honest with you.
And I think he's upset, but really there's nothing Joe West can do about it. That's what the call was.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's not his call.
Yes, exactly.
Scioscia's the one that initiated the challenge. And that's what Major League Baseball said back in New York as they looked at the replay. I don't know that I've ever seen that, to be honest with you. Get a call overturned like that.
Especially when the outfielder doesn't throw up his arms.
So it's a double for Escobar. Escobar gets credited with his 26th double. So 1 out, Trout will bat. Tying run now at second. And a 1-0 game here in the 6th. A break for the Angels. Pick off a 10th, and Escobar back in there.
A little bit of delay too for Martin Perez. See if he'll make a mistake early on here against Trout. Trout coming to the game, a .329 career hitter against the Rangers, including 9 home runs in this ballpark.
Down and in. 2 balls, no strikes.
And that's the one thing as a pitcher, you're in a pretty good rhythm. The thing you don't want is to have that timing thrown off for you, where you're just grabbing the baseball, throwing a lot of strikes. Showed how well he was throwing pitches in the strike zone prior to this at bat against Trout.
Three balls, no strikes. There's a strike, 3-1. Trout 0 for 2. 3-1 pitch. He'll shoot this one off the bag. That's a fair ball. Escobar will come in to score to tie things up. This one headed toward the corner. Mazzara bobbles it, and Trout will keep on running. We're tied at 1 here in the 6th inning.
Well, this has certainly been an odd inning. And Trout picks up another RBI as he smiles and looks in at the dugout. Right off the base and down the line. 91st RBI as he continues to drive in runs in this ballpark. Right down off the base and down the right field line. Mazzara tries to cut that off, knowing the speed of Trout, unable to do so. Gets away from him, bobbles it.
A double by Escobar. The call that got overturned, and Albert will bat with a man at third. Found a ground rule here in relation to the ballpark. It says a fair ball lodging in fence padding or in manually operated scoreboard left field fence, 2 bases. I think that's a determination Major League Baseball made. Albert lifts one out toward right. Not very deep. Mazzara with a terrific throwing arm. He'll make the catch, and Trout's not going anywhere. 2 down.
It's pretty interesting. Adrian Beltre was telling Trout to stay there at third. Trying to be a third base coach himself.
Albert jumping on that first pitch. Now 1 for 3.
First baseman C.J. Cron.
Beltre saying, stay there, stay there. Very nice of him.
Yeah. I'm like, where are you going?
You understand he's got 6 outfield assists in right field, right?
So it's up to Cron. He's 0 for 2. A fielder's choice and a strikeout. Trout, by the way, credited with a triple, his 5th. Oh, 2 and back up the middle, off the glove of Perez. Odor has it. That's the 3rd out. The Angels end up tying it in an unusual fashion, but the Angels will take it as we head to the bottom of the 6th. It's a 1-1 game. telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Infinity. Visit your local Southern California Infinity retailer for a test drive today. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Halos and Rangers tied at 1 in the opening game of the series as we start the bottom of the 6th inning. Mike Morin takes over for Jhoulys Chacín, who ended up going 5 innings tonight, giving up a home run. The only run that he gave up. 6 total hits, 3 strikeouts and 1 walk. A very good outing for Chacín for the 2nd straight time. And Morin here in the 6th inning gets Beltre, Odor, and Lucroy. It's our in and out, who's in, who's out. Morin pitching in his 57th game, 2-2 mark, a 4.44 ERA. Beltre 1 for 1, a walk and a single.
Oh, a solid effort by Chacín.
One ball, 1 strike. Morin ahead of the count at 1-2. Shift on with Beltre at the plate. 3 infielders on the left. And he'll take low.
It's that good changeup.
Two now. Beltre goes down, swinging on a high fastball, 1 down.
Especially after you throw some change-ups and all speed, elevate like that, and Beltre can hit a high pitch very, very well. Unable to catch up to that one from Mike Morin after the pitch before, below the strike zone.
Rougned Odor 0 for 2 so far tonight. A pop-up in foul territory and a fly ball to shallow right. Takes down and away. Not a bad idea here. Odor with the shift on and Escobar near the shortstop position. 2 balls, no strikes. Halos have action in their bullpen continuing.
If you're the Angels, you don't mind him trying to bunt, though. You feel that you can field your position and throw him out, especially with the power he possesses.
Cody Iggy getting ready. .3-0.
Very similar area where Moreland was called out on. And if you're a pitcher, Kerwin Danley's been calling that outside pitch even a little bit off the outside corner. You got to live there.
Especially with a guy like Odor at the plate. Off speed, and that's yanked foul. Full count. Go back to the off speed, wouldn't you?
Definitely.
After being out in front that much. And a fastball. pretty good location, though.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you worry about is making a mistake with that fastball, pulling it across, and all of a sudden it's right in his.
Yeah, he was a little bit late, but if that got any of the strike zone, that was trouble.
One out, nobody on, another 3-2, and this is bounce foul. A run, 3 hits, 3 left on for the Angels. A run, 6 hits, 1 error, and 5 left on for Texas. Nomar Mazara led off the 5th, homering to left center field, his 19th of the year. And the Angels getting an unusual run at the top of the 6th inning. And he walked it nowhere near the zone. Just tried to guide that one a little bit. Man on, and it's Jonathan Lucroy coming up. Hey, get your red on and join us on Sunday, October the 2nd. That is Fan Appreciation Day, also the last game of the season. The Angels will celebrate our fans as we take on the Astros at 12:05. Remember, that's a 12:05 start, the last game of the year. Fans in attendance will have a chance to win great prizes, courtesy of Pechanga Resort Casino, Nexa Tire and Yard House. Just go to angels.com for more details. Lucroy 0 for 2 against Chacin. A fly ball to left and a bouncer that hit the leg of Jolice and ricocheted to C.J. Cron.
It's been likes to start right-handed batters off with a slider first pitch consistently for Mike Morin. .16 ground ball double plays for Lucroy this year. Well, Mike Moore did a nice job of holding the baseball. It almost looked like Odor was thinking about going. He held the baseball, it threw off his timing. Best way to stop a running game or slow down a running game is to be able to hold the baseball as a pitcher.
14 stolen bases for Rougned. No balls, 2 strikes. Odor on the move. Lucroy is swinging a miss. A throw down to second. A good one, and they got him at second.
Yeah, Mike Scioscia would have asked anyhow because Lucroy went across the plate.
Steve Buechele is going to have a look at it. He's the bench coach. Remember, Bannister ejected in the 6th.
See the head first slide. First contact with that glove on the body. Looks like he got him. See right here. See if there's a tag on the body.
They're going to challenge it.
Oh, it looks like, well, right there he got him. On the pant leg. Unless he got that hand in there. Again, then this is going to be one of those plays too. If indeed it's overturned, Mike Scioscia may indeed make sure that they look at exactly where Lucroy was across the plate. And did he mess up the throw from Perez?
Now, wouldn't this be something that Scioscia could tell Joe West now so that they look at the entirety of the play?
Yes, or they may be doing that anyhow.
Right now it's the 3rd down on a strike him out, throw him out. Question is, did the tag of Petit get there before the hand of Odor?
And they're quick with it, that's for sure.
And he's out. So
Rangers
are done here
before the hand in there.
Head to the 7th, tied at 1.
Lines a shot in the right center field underneath the padding. Ground rules at this stadium says if it goes lodged underneath there, it is a ground rule double. It was thrown out but overturned. Stays at second. Mike Trout right down the line off the base. Triples score in Escobar, who would have been out originally. Trout drives him home. We were tied at 1 on that triple by Trout.
Marte, Simmons, and Petit here against Martin Perez. Perez with 2 strikeouts, no walks, 3 hits allowed.
Credit Dino Ebel and Steve Solis as far as getting that, overturned that call where the baseball was lodged underneath the padding here. The home ground rules stating baseball lodged underneath the padding would be a ground rule double. Credit them for catching that right away.
There's the ground rule here in relation to Globe Life Park. We said that every ballpark, it's different. Fair ball lodging in fence padding, and I guess that could be interpreted whether it's the bottom of the fence or between the padding on the wall, like a line drive hitting into the fence. At least that's how Major League Baseball interpreted the rule, because they're the ones that overturned it. That was the double hit by Escobar. He ended up trying to go to third, got thrown out, and that's when the Angels challenged that call. Escobar got credited with a double, then Trout brought him home on a triple that hit the first base bag. But credit Martin Perez, he did not become unfazed with that delay and then the subsequent triple by Trout. Got Pujols to hit a fly ball to shallow right, and then Crone to ground out. This one flared down the line and a slice foul.
Exactly right. That's pretty impressive when you think about it. With Albert with 112 RBI on the season, man on third with 1 out. It's been so good as far as getting that runner home. Shallow fly ball to right field. Good pitch from Perez.
I'd imagine that's a ground rule, by the way, that'll get cleaned up a little bit. That's up and in. Did it hit him? It did. The forearm area, and it's a hit by pitch.
4th batter that Perez has hit this year. One of those setup pitches to go down and away. Fastball up and in. You see they're getting in that forearm area. Right arm.
Andrelton Simmons 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs.
My Hyundai key for this game, setting the world on fire so far. Both pitchers, starting pitches through well. Now it's up to the bullpen for the Angels, but it's up now also for the offense to put together a big inning against Perez.
Bobbled by Perez. Still gets the out at first, but I think he got a little too quick. Otherwise, potential double play.
Yeah, that's going to be a double play ball. A little bit of a break for Simmons and the Angels. Right back at him. It's hit hard enough. A little bit of spin on the baseball, though. Wasn't a real easy play for Perez.
All right, it took a weird hop once it hit the second hop on the or the second bounce in the dirt. It came up on him. So 1 out, 1 on. Just 71 pitches for Martin Perez. And he's going to face Gregorio Petit, who twice has grounded out tonight. Starting second baseman. Takes low. Two balls, no strikes. tight season series between these two teams. 8-8. Texas last go around at the Big A, taking 2 of 3.
Well, it's been a while since we've been back down here. It felt like it wasn't that long ago, but well, was it in May? Steve Roussel, acting manager.
Yeah, the Rangers have played 500 baseball against Oakland and the Angels combined. They've dominated the Houston Astros. The Pete doesn't like that call, but it did catch the top part of the zone. That's 2-1. Steve Buechele, by the way, had been in their minor league system. He had managed at Double-A a couple years.
By the way, his son's a pretty good quarterback too.
Yeah. Freshman at University of Texas. This was lifted out to left. Gomez makes the catch. Marte will stay at second. 2 down.
Yeah, there's some pretty good arms in the outfield. You don't want to take that chance. Gomez has a good throwing arm himself left.
So 2 outs and Carlos Perez coming up with Marte at second.
75 pitches on 56 strikes. It's 19 of them out of the strike zone for Martin Perez. Guy with 72 walks in 182 innings coming into the game.
One last note on Shane Buechele. I would imagine his uncle Eric taking all the credit for his quarterback prowess. Eric, a quarterback at Fresno State. He was an Angel farmhand for like 30 seconds. The Angels drafted him in 1990. He was a teammate of mine, not Steve, but Eric. They tried to make him into a catcher. I'll never forget the first workout. He's like, dude, I have no idea what I'm doing here. I haven't played baseball since Little League. But because he had a good arm, it just didn't work out for him.
It's amazing how
do you put the catcher's gear on? He wanted me to help him.
I can throw something, but I don't know about catching it.
Oh, great family. This one down the right field line. That's a fair ball. Marte will come in to score. Carlos on his way to second. And he's in there with an RBI double. Angels have themselves a 2-1 lead here in the 7th.
And that double play not being turned by Martin Perez, and the ground ball back up the middle ends up being a run scored. It's our top tier play brought to you by Arco. Nice piece of hitting by Carlos Perez. Fastball away, just went with it and right down the right field line for his 14th double, 29th RBI.
Doug Brocail, the pitching coach, out to pay a visit. Hit by pitch to start this 7th inning. A 2-strike count, too, on Marte. Get some action going in the Ranger pen now. Tanner Scheppers. SoCal product. .77 pitches through 6 2/3 so far. 2-1 Halos here in the 7th.
Pretty solid effort. No walks, 2 punch outs. Just 4 hits allowed.
Shane Robinson, a fly ball to right and a ground ball to short. Robinson hits one out toward left center field. Desmond got a good jump on it. He'll track it down. And that's the 3rd out. But the Angels take their first lead of the night. The RBI double by Carlos Perez makes it 2-1. Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics. It's Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, weekdays 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific, only on FS1. 2-1 Halos, bottom of the 7th. Cody Ege takes over on the mound for Mike Morin, who went 1 inning, struck out 2, and walked a man. Ege pitching in his 9th game, no record, 5 innings, 1 earned run. And he's facing the team that originally drafted him, the Texas Rangers. Did so out of the University of Louisville, the 15th round in 2013. New left fielder, by the way, it's Rafael Ortega taking over for Jeffrey Marte. Jurickson Profar up for his first plate appearance. Took over at first base when Mitch Moreland got ejected after striking out looking in the 4th. Ege never made it to the big leagues with Texas. Got traded last year with Tomas Telis in exchange for Sam Dyson. And the Angels picking him up off waivers from the Marlins on August the 12th.
Ege going fastball in just off the outside part of the plate. Spots that one out to even up the count. Good sweeping slider and changeup.
Profar switch hitter. 245 batting average through 83 games. 200 from the right side, 262 from the left. Profar, Mazzara, and Andrews.
That's
good off speed.
Good changeup. Good arm action on that one. So they might try it again.
Doesn't chase this time. Evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Couple of West Coast games involving the American League West. Seattle hosting Toronto, scoreless in the 1st. Oakland hosting Houston, also scoreless in the 1st. Just underway on both of those as Ege has taken the count to full here on the leadoff man. You do not want to give base runners to this team, especially late.
They have been extremely good as far as coming back in games.
That's a called strike 3, inside part of the plate. Profar goes down looking, 1 out.
And that's been the part of the plate that's been called consistently throughout the night by the plate umpire Kerwin Danley. It's like just a little bit off the inside corner, but it's been called throughout the whole game in that spot of the plate.
There's Nomar Mazzara. Leadoff home run for him in the 5th. A 1-for-2 night on the season. His 19th home run, 60th run batted in. That was against Jhoulys Chacin. That was just off the plate. It's the 4th home run Mazzara has hit against the Angels this season. One-0. We talk about jamming a left-handed batter.
Yeah, especially that first pitch is a little bit off the outside corner. Ran that fastball in. Wonder if Ege's able to get out Mazzara here. Mike So should go to the bullpen with a number of right-handed batters coming up after this. See him, he goes in with his change-up grip to start with before bringing it into the glove.
This is hit towards second. Petit's got it. 2 down. Mike Scioscia's coming out. That's going to be it for Ege. He faces 2 batters, retires both, and with Elvis Andrus coming to the plate, Mike Scioscia's going to go to the right-hander. Corey Rasmus coming in with the Angels up 2-1. nobody on. It's Corey Rasmus on in relief. Corey just fresh off the disabled list. Pitching in his 17th game this season. Just his 3rd appearance since coming off the DL. He's going to face Elvis Andrus.
Very solid numbers, a little over 2 ERA, 2.14 in his career versus the Rangers. Remember, Andrews always looking in early, then looks away late. I'll try to pitch him backwards. His numbers versus lefties as compared to righties.
0-1 count. Elvis a single and a fly ball to right.
He did a nice job today, 2/3 of an inning, 1 punch out.
One. Got the top part of the zone. According to Kerwin Danley, 1-2.
Well, that part of the strike zone has been called often tonight.
Out towards center field, hit well. Trout racing back at the wall. That's gone. Elvis Andrus has homered off of Corey Rasmus, and it ties this game up at 2.
Boy, look, exactly what we said. He looks away late. Got a fastball away. And went with the pitch and hits it out to center field. A good carry in this ballpark.
6th home run of the season for Andrus, 64th run batted in. And it's now a 2-2 game. Top of the order now, and Carlos Gomez. Gomez tonight 1 for 3 with a single in the 5th. Mentioned earlier, Texas with 45 comeback wins tops Major League Baseball. 34 victories in 1-run games. This one's bunted foul. They're 34-10 in 1-run games. Also tops in baseball.
When Andrus, great career numbers against the Angels. 309 career batting average against the Angels. Got that big home run to center field. That's at 541 career at bats coming into the game tonight.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And Desmond on deck. Halos in the 8th have the top of their order coming up, and Escobar, Trout, and Pujols. There's action going in the Ranger pen. You may have seen the last of Martin Perez. 2-2. Lays off, full count. Matt Bush getting ready. Three-two. Breaking ball, he walked him.
Gomez with good speed himself as a stolen base threat. Angels with 22 pickoffs this year. Tops in baseball in that category.
Desmond takes outside. 2 for 3 night. A couple of singles and a fly ball to center.
Good hard slider there from Rasmus.
Here's the 1-1. Gomez on the move. The pitch upstairs. A throw to second, and it's not in time. A stolen base. Sersha will have Dino called down.
It'd have to be that quick tag once again. Gomez looks in. See right here, a better angle. Hand in before the tag, safe at second.
This is taking a while. They're going to challenge it. Kerwin Downley, the home plate umpire. Joe West, the crew chief. Calling the field is safe at second on the stolen base.
This play review is presented by Toyota.
I'm not sure they're going to overturn that.
Be pretty tough to.
Yeah, it looks like the hand hit.
That is so close.
Yeah. Looks like they're getting their answer now. So the Angels and the Rangers both out of challenges. It's the stolen base for Gomez with 2 outs. The call stands. Two balls and a strike on Desmond. 2-2 game. Elvis Andrus tying it up with a 2-out home run as Desmond this one out to right. Robinson racing back. Is underneath and makes the catch, and the inning comes to an end. But Elvis hits his 6th of the year. We head to the 8th. It's a 2-2 game.
Add to top of the 8th we go on Patrick O'Neill. Hope you stick around after the game for Angels Live, brought to you by your SoCal Mazda dealers in what has been a challenging game so far. And we'll break it all down. We'll hear from Mike Scioscia as well. I was able to find out from him, I'm so close to the Angels dugout right here, regarding that play involving Escobar being overturned. The Angels absolutely knew the rules. That's why they were so quick to challenge that play. They knew that that ball being lodged under there would be overturned. But if the Rangers were not to overturn it and say Escobar was safe at third, that would be on them. So, kudos, as you mentioned, Gooby, to these guys knowing the rules.
Yeah, that was a big play. Obviously, then Trout with the triple down the first base line, off the base. At that point, first run of the game for the Halos.
Top of the order for the Angels. Matt Bush takes over on the mound. Fireballing right-hander, pitching in his 54th game, 7-2 mark. 2.70 ERA. Escobar 1 for 3. A double in the 6th inning. Scored on the triple by Trout. Double for Unell, his 26th. Late on the fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bush facing the Angels for the 8th time this year. 1-0 at a 1.23 ERA. He's gone 7 1/3. Struck out 6, walked none. Has allowed 7 hits. One-two pitch. Now shoots it down the line, slicing out of play.
That is a firm fastball at 97.
Little dribbler toward third. Beltre comes in on it. 1 down. So to bring up Trout. 1 for 3 with that triple in the 6th inning. 5th of the year. Picked up his 91st run batted in. Trout 2 for 3 against Bush. A single and a double. Takes a breaking ball for a strike.
Looked like Trout was ready to be swinging first pitch fastball. Say got a breaking ball. Still very good in these counts this year when he's put it in play. 422 on 0-1 counts for Trout. A cut fastball.
No balls, 2 strikes. One, two, fouled back. 97 on the fastball.
Middle part of the plate, upper part of the strike zone.
Albert's on deck. 1 out here in the 8th. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Fans are a little upset because that pitch has been called a lot, but that was well off the inside corner. And as Norm, Trout's seen a lot of pitches. 4.42 pitches per plate appearance. Third most in baseball.
Chopper to short. Andrews gets rid of it quickly. 2 down.
Designated hitter Albert Pujols.
So here's Pujols. Albert 1 for 3, a single back in the first. A couple of fly balls to the outfield since. Three infielders on the left side. Texas in the bottom of the 8th. We'll have Beltran, Beltran, Odor due up. The Angels have A.J. Ochter getting ready.
Albert with 12 career regular season home runs here in this ballpark.
Gets jammed and bounces this one to Odor. Halos down in order. We head to the bottom of the 8th, tied at 2.
Beat Baltimore. They have a 4-game lead. Cleveland comfortable lead over the Tigers. Same thing here with Texas, but if you look at the wild card, very, very close as far as who's going to get in there in that wild card spot. But when you battle for that home field advantage, see how close the records between Texas and Cleveland. Both have played exceptional baseball, especially coming back late in games in their home ballpark.
A.J. Ochter takes over here in the bottom of the 8th inning in a 2-2 game. 22nd game, no record of 3.41 ERA. He pitched last night or yesterday afternoon, went 1 inning, gave up a hit. Three, 4, 5 for Texas. Carlos Beltran is 0 for 3. As it's starting to rain here. No rain was scheduled for tonight, but with this heat, you never know in Texas.
It's a pretty heavy rain right now, too.
Yeah. 2-1. Beltran bounced it over to Crone. One down. It's starting to pour now. Out of nowhere.
Yeah, we've been looking at this, especially with it as hot as it was and humid here. No rain at all in the forecast.
There's Beltre, 1 for 2 with a walk. That time's called, and it looks like they're going to pull tarp. And so we will be in a delay here. Just as they do, it looks like it's starting to slow down a little bit. To make sure that this gets passed here, and that's it. Tarp being rolled out. 2-2 game here in the 8th inning with 1 out. A rain delay slowing things down. See how long this
serious
impacts
rain
things
right now.
Yeah,
And infield dirt. Although this field drains incredibly well.
having troubles with the tarp.
Doesn't seem like it's going to last too long, though.
No, it's like a small little cell. They'll put the Mariners Blue Jays game up on the screens here. That game in the 3rd with no score. So we have ourselves an official delay. A 2-2 game with 1 out here in the 8th. For now, enjoy this edition of Angels Weekly. We'll continue to get you updated. They're up with 1 out, and it'll be Adrian Beltre that's due up. But before that, here's the game summary so far, Gooby.
Yeah, Mazzara was able to go the other way against Luis Chassin, who threw the ball very well. The other way, rated at 390 sign. At that point, given the Rangers a 1-0 lead, Escobar doubles into the right center field gap. The baseball stays underneath the padding. Mazzara brings it out, and then the play at third, he's tagged out, but then they review the play. Mike Scioscia got it reviewed. And Escobar's put back at second base. The ground rule said if it's underneath the padding, back at second. Then Mike Trout triples right off the bag on the right field line, tying it up at 1. See Trout slide in there with his 5th triple this season, 91st RBI. Carlos Perez, a big run scoring double, giving at that point the Angels a 2-1 lead. But then Texas, they've done a lot in this season coming back. Elvis Andrews, the dead center field off of Corey Rasmus, tying it up at 2, and that's where we're at right now in the 8th inning.
A.J. Octor came on here in the 8th inning, got Carlos Beltran. When the heavens opened up, Beltran ended up grounding out. Joe West, the crew chief, decided to put the tarp on the field, and it rained for about 15 minutes. Starting to lighten up. As a matter of fact, still drizzling right now, but the field's ready to go. Octor's been loose for a while now. Looks like Adrian Beltre, the on-deck circle, is just about ready to go. So it's a 2-2 tie here in the 8th. Halos in the 9th. Just looking ahead, if Cron, Marte, and Simmons due up. Matt Bush pitched the 8th inning and retired the side in order with 3 ground ball outs. Beltre tonight, 1 for 2, a walk and a single. Struck out his last time up. That was against Mike Moore. Beltre lines one out to left center field on the first pitch. Trout will cut it off. Adrian will stop at first. So man on, representing the go-ahead run, as Rougned Odor will come to the plate.
Well, he's continued to swing the bat so well in these big moments, especially late in the game. 7th inning on, 345 batting average for Beltre. Good play by Trout to cut that one off, to keep him at first base, though. Double play still in order.
Odor hitless tonight. Popped up in foul territory in the 2nd. Hit a fly ball to right in the 4th and walked in the 6th. Slowly but surely, those that remain in attendance here trickling back down to their seats. (1-0). Odor pulls one down the line. It's a fair ball toward the corner. Robinson over to cut it off. Beltre heading to third. He is going to be stopped right there. It's a double for Rougned Odor. Out in front of the off-speed pitch, somehow kept it fair. And Texas has runners at 2nd and 3rd with an out, and Jonathan Lucroy coming up.
Away, change up away, but it was about thigh high. Allowed Odor to be able to get his hands, even though the hips opened up, he kept his hands back, and it hooks it right down the right field line. Played well by Robinson, getting in quickly to prevent Beltre from scoring.
Mike Scioscia's coming out here. And I'm wondering if maybe the phone's not working in the bullpen. Scioscia signaling out to the pen, and it looks like the phone are having issues with that. Well, if he's pointing to the lefty, isn't that Alvarez, right? There's only 2 lefties. Yes. Iggy's already pitched.
Yes.
Yeah. By default, Jose Alvarez go ahead and start loosening up. Nobody's moving out there. So they're not understanding what's going on.
And right now, Tommy Gregorio and Scott Radinsky are looking in. Phone not working. Radinsky going over to see. Mike Scioscia wants to at least have the umpire run out there to say, someone get up.
Yeah, Greg Gibson, third base umpire's heading out there. Phone's not working. Clearly, that's what Scioscia wants, is to get Alvarez going. No. And now Alvarez is coming into the game. Now we'll head back. No, actually, go get loose. I'm telling you, you got to go with the college football. The cards on the sidelines. Delino DeShields is the pinch runner at third base for Adrian Beltre. I wonder if Scioscia is doing this to get Alvarez loose here. Because you've got Lucroy up, but I can't imagine he's going with a lefty here. Steve Buechele is going to come out and get an explanation here of what's going on. Clearly the bullpen phone not working for the Angels. And I believe we're now ready.
The thing
I wonder
is,
if I can intentionally walk Lucroy to bring Profar up from the right side, and then bring in Alvarez.
especially how well Lucroy has swung the bat this year. With runners in scoring position, been very good this entire season. Yeah, they are going to walk him.
The one thing that it opens yourself up to here is that Profar can handle the bat well. You got terrific speed into Shields with one out. Wouldn't surprise me if the Rangers tried to bring home a run via bunt.
And keep in mind that infield grass will probably be pretty wet too, so the footing is not going to be real good. Whether it's on the baseball being wet or the traction on your feet as you come in on a potential suicide squeeze. Although it's a much easier play on a force out at home if they try that.
Well, Scioscia is still in the dugout. Profar is the batter. He's 0 for 1, struck out looking in the 7th.
That's more of a delayed tactic once again, and Mike Scioscia looks like he is indeed going to go down to the bullpen.
Again, this all a problem because the bullpen phone not working. So Alvarez, who got loose in a hurry, is coming on into this ball game with one out, and the bases loaded. It's a 2-2 game. Jose pitching in his 61st game, 1-2 mark, a 3.48 ERA, 50 strikeouts, 15 walks in 54 and a third innings. And he's going to face a pinch hitter. Jerkson Profar has been called back. Ryan Rua has come out to the on-deck circle. Right-handed batter. Rua on the season, a .253 average with 8 home runs, 21 runs batted in. He's 0 for 8 as a pinch hitter. He's 1 for 2 in his career against Alvarez. One of those hits, the only hit, a double. He has hit left-handed pitching better than right-handed. 286 average against lefties this season compared to 228. He'll come up with the bases loaded. DeShields with his speed over at third base. Odor at second. And Lucroy, who just got intentionally walked, is over at first.
And Rua always looking first pitch fastball. If Alvarez has a feel for his changeup, try to get him out in front. Going to roll that one over the shortstop to Simmons, maybe get a double play.
Crone, the only infielder playing in near the cut of the grass. Shane Robinson shallow in right. Everyone else at normal depth. The infield looking for a double play ball. Here's the first one, and that is down and in. We would assume on a warm night that although it was somewhat convoluted, Alvarez was able to get loose fairly quickly. Plus the 8 pitches that he gets when he comes to the big boy mound. Here's the 1-0. Rua rips one and glove by Escobar. They get the out. That ball was rocketed.
Whoa.
2 down.
Talk about the hot corner. You can't hit a baseball any harder than that if you're Rua. But what a play. Reaction by Escobar. Little prep step to get ready for the catch this line drive. It's almost by him when he catches it. Outstanding play by Escobar. Wow.
Jared Hoying pinch hitting here for Nomar Mazara. One left-handed batter for another. Hoying bounces this one softly toward first, and it goes foul. A little surprised to see Hoying here. Mazara homered earlier in this game, 1 for 3.
Especially when you have a swing like he had, hitting the ball the other way, and you got a left-handed pitcher up.
Hoying hitting 189 on the year.
Mazara 241 against left-handers.
Talked about this when the Rangers were in Southern California about Hoying's approach. Open stance, hands down low. Very susceptible away with soft stuff. Angels playing it to pull. Simmons up the middle. Escobar off the line at third. 1-1 pitch. That's down and away. The 2-1 count.
And if you're Ortega, you got to be looking for something maybe flaring out towards you in left field. Have to be ready. Especially you can see where Alvarez is pitching him.
Here comes the 2-1. Breaking ball, and it's in there. Count evened up. Two. This is popped up. Shallow right field. Petit going out. Underneath it. And the Rangers will leave them loaded. We head to the 9th inning, still tied at 2. I want to remind you to follow Angels Baseball live over the next couple of weeks with MLB.com at Bat App. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet. Sam Dyson takes over on the mound. The right-hander pitching in his 69th game. 2-2 mark, a 2.62 ERA. Proud owner of 34 saves, 51 strikeouts, 20 walks, and 65 and a third. Obviously a non-save situation, but he's here to face Cron, Ortega, and Simmons for the Angels. A couple of changes for Texas on the defensive side of things. Hanser Alberto takes over for Adrian Beltre, so he's no longer in the game, and Ryan Rua stays in the game, and he will play first. C.J. Cron 0 for 3 so far tonight. Halos with just 4 hits. Texas has racked out 9. Just left them loaded in the 8th inning.
And Dyson with that power sinker. 92 to 96 range slider. Throws quite a few of those. Change of speed with that pitch and changeup. Everything generally in the lower part of the strike zone. So if you're a hitter, you just look the lower part of the zone.
Fastball upstairs. TJ 2 for 6 in his career against Dyson. Two 2-0. 2 borderline pitches that go the Angels' way. Two and 1. Cron hits one over to third. Alberto's got it. One down.
It's a pretty good indication of how much that fastball moves in a fastball count. C.J. Cron gets one, but then that fastball runs in on him, jammed him.
Rafael Ortega, first plate appearance, took over defensively and left in the 7th for Marte. 217 average with a 256 on base percentage at the major league level this year. That sinker down and away that Ortega trying to pull. Off the plate. That one was nowhere near the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's been a generous zone all night for Kerwin Danley. Ortega shoots one out to the alley in right center field. Long run for Desmond. Got a good jump on it. He'll track it down for out number 2.
Well, he has really done a nice job taking over that center field position. Think about a shortstop throughout his career. First came over to play left field, then has moved over to center. And a real good jump and great angle he took to be able to run this one down in right center field, just in front of the warning track at that 407 sign.
Here's Andrelton, 0 for 3 with 3 ground downs tonight. Up and off his foot. No balls and a strike. Hot month of September. .333 batting average coming into play tonight with 3 home runs and 10 RBIs. He's also picked up 3 doubles and a triple this month. No 1. Ground ball, base hit through the left side. 2-out single for Andrelton.
That fastball just elevated enough where Simmons able to keep his hands inside and drive that in the hole between short and third. That toe tap, the 2 of them down, is above the belt. Nice job as far as getting that barrel of the bat on the baseball. Even though that infield dirt is wet, I would not be surprised to see Mike Scioscia have some movement here, whether it's a straight steal, Simmons with 9 stolen bases on the season, or have him in motion on a hit and run. Especially for a guy that is a sinker ball pitcher, you have a real good chance of putting the ball on the ground. A lot of room on that right side of the infield.
Gregorio for 3 tonight. 2 ground outs and a fly ball to left. Tied at 2 here in the top of the 9th. It'll dribble up the first base line. Dyson has to hurry. Flips it, and Rua gloves it somehow, and they get the out. That is one heck of a play.
He almost... That was pretty fortunate enough to be able to catch that one.
Scioscia's going to look at it, but the Angels are out of challenges, aren't they?
He's all right with it anyhow.
Yeah, no challenge whatsoever.
That's not an easy play. You don't even really see the baseball. You're just throwing your glove out in an area. And he catches it.
Wow, under the arm of Petit. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Still tied at 2. Heck of a play by Sam Dyson, and more importantly, a better play perhaps by Ryan Rua, just to put the glove there and actually make the catch on this throw.
Yeah, it looked as if he was just putting that glove in a zone where he thought the baseball might end up. He's turned his head. He puts the glove where the throw is going to be out from Dyson. Really can't see the baseball as he's screened by Petit going down the line, but still able to catch that one somehow, some way, and control the baseball in his glove.
Elvis Andrus to lead things off. Jose Alvarez back out on the mound. Andrus, Gomez, Desmond here in the bottom of the 9th. Pulled past Escobar, and it's a leadoff single for the Rangers shortstop. He will stop right there as Ortega gets the baseball in quickly. A 3-for-4 game for Elvis. And we'll bring up Carlos Gomez, and you know that there's a little action going to happen here.
Well, Escobar has to play in because Andrus will drag bunt or push bunt, so he's forced in, and because of that, that baseball hit hard is by him quickly in left field for a single. And Andrus continues to put up big numbers against the Angels in his career.
10th of the night for Texas. 22 stolen bases on the season. Team leader for the Rangers. Gomez looks at a strike. Carlos Gomez tonight, 1 for 3, a single and a walk. A bunt on the third base side. Alvarez will glove it. Hurry throw, and not in time. An infield base hit. A do or die situation there. And again, Socha looking down at Dino Evil, but last time I checked, the Angels and the Rangers are both out of challenges.
But they can get a crew chief review, and then at this point of the game, pretty good play by Alvarez. Just a little bit of a hesitation on the throw. It's all he can do, is especially as a left-handed thrower, to get there and spin around and then fire as quick as possible. As the baseball, foot on the base before the baseball is secured, just barely beat it.
So incredible speed on the bases. The winning run at second, that's Elvis Andrus. The trail runner, Carlos Gomez. And here's Ian Desmond, 2 for 4 tonight with 2 singles. Looks at a strike.
Yeah, and most times you think, okay, maybe in a bunt here, but not with the way Desmond has swung the bat this season. And his ability to hit the ball the other way makes it difficult to pitch to.
0-1 off the plate. Got the switch hitting DH and Carlos Beltran on deck. Simmons shading toward the middle, trying to keep Andrus as close as possible to second. A time called. One. Foul back. Good pitch up and in.
And you're trying to jam him at that point. The only thing you run into, the issue mentioned earlier, the numbers for Desmond on high pitches. Fortunate enough, that was up and in and off the plate.
A little flare out to right field. It's going to be a base hit. Elvis is going to be waved in. The throw from Shane Robinson nowhere near the plate, and Texas has walked off on the Angels. Yet another one-run victory. It's 3-2 tonight.
And another base hit going the other way for Desmond, who's meant so much to this club for Texas. Stay back on it well. Lines it in the right field. Trying to go back inside. It drifts out up. Again, high pitch against him. Not where you want to go. Robinson tried to charge that as quick as possible with the high throw, especially with Andrus going. And another one-run victory, 35th of the season.
No hesitation whatsoever as Ian Desmond picks up the win for the Texas Rangers. 3-2 the final. Dyson the winner. Jose Alvarez takes the loss. Game 2 tomorrow night. Stick around. Angels Live post-game is coming up next.